Hello everyone, this is my first video, which is going to be an introduction to the SPSS statistics program that we're going to be using in the next couple of weeks. So the first important step is to be able to connect to the virtual desktop. What you're seeing right now on the screens is the directions to connecting to the virtual desktop, which are also posted on our on-course page. So what I began by doing, I'm not going to show you, it takes a little while to load, but I just clicked on the link right here, and then it opened up a page in which I then clicked on the icon that looks like this, and then I logged in with my W Whedon ID and my usual Whedon password. And then what happens is it takes you to a screen with a bunch of different programs, and you want to select SPSS statistics. You'll see it's a blue icon with some symbols on it. And then when it opens, you might have a choice of, say, opening a new data set or an existing data set. What you want to do is open a new data set. So what you can see is when it opens, you will be in what's called the data view down here. And what I did was I simply copied and pasted my data from that 36 countries worksheet into this data view. So you'll see this is very similar to an Excel spreadsheet or a Google Sheets, but the only thing that's different is that the variables are listed on top. So when I copied and pasted my data, I copied all the data without the variable names. So I just clicked right here and pasted the data in. And then in a minute, I'll show you how I put in the variable names. One thing I just want to throw out there, because I really struggled with this myself, is that you can't, when you're in this virtual desktop, you can't copy and paste from your existing desktop. So that took me a long time to figure that out. So what I did was when I was at the virtual desktop, I could open up my Google Drive. So I had my data, I had emailed it to myself, and so then I opened up my email on the virtual desktop, and then I was able to copy and paste. So I hope this makes sense. So just if you're trying to use your regular desktop, it won't go from that to the virtual desktop. So you have to find some way to get your data to the virtual desktop. And I was just able to do that through the Google Drive. You guys are probably more tech savvy than me. You might have other ideas. But anyway, if you're having trouble copying and pasting, it might be because you're trying to work between the two different desktops, which doesn't work. So anyway, my first step was I did a simple copy and paste of my data minus my variable names into this data view. Something else you'll see down here is what's called a variable view. So that's what I did next. I open up the variable view, and then you'll then see that there's room for names. So what I just did was I actually just took the time to type these in myself. To troubleshoot a little bit, a couple of things. Your variable names cannot have any spaces or special characters or symbols. So you might have to make slight changes to your existing variable names. If you're trying to put in like country space title, that's not going to work, for instance, because it won't allow that space. So just play around with your variable names, and that's in this first column. Another troubleshooting thing is the variable type is important. If your variable is in words, like for instance my country variable, I have to make sure that it's labeled as a string variable, not one of the other options here. So I had two variables, my country and my region, that I had to change to string variables. The rest, it was okay to leave as numeric because those are numbers. Something else you might have to play with, this is just the width of the variable. So if my countries, some of them have longer names, so I had to adjust my width to make it a little bit longer. And then also with your numeric variables, if you want to play around and have with the number of decimals, right now I'm having no decimals, which is fine for this data set, but you might want to add decimals here. So this is my variable view page, and when I want to click back over to my data, you can see it right here. So if you're having some trouble and you're not seeing your data, again, make sure that words are listed as string variables on our variable view. So you can see mine are both like that. If you have decimals, you might have to change decimals. I see, look, I'm seeing a problem with my GNP variable. So that's making me think I probably don't have enough, I might not have my width high enough there. Let's try that out. So I'm going to go in and adjust my width and just make it 12. Let's make it just 15, just to be on the safe side, and see if that clears things up. Let's see. Okay, so all right. I guess I don't know why that's missing there. I'll have to go and play around with that. But it was just wanting to make sure that it wasn't too high, and that's why I was having a problem there. So same thing, you know, as you're converting your data, just make sure that you're double checking it and making sure that that's looking good there. So that would be your first step, is to just get your data into this spreadsheet formula and get comfortable with the data and the variable view. And then later today or tomorrow, I'm going to log a couple of more videos showing you how to do some descriptive statistics and a cross tabulation, and maybe a little graphing in SPSS for this week. So please begin by making sure you can connect to the virtual desktop, and then see if you can move your data into an SPSS data set like I did. And let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.